there in Flint, exposed to lead coming from the water crisis. The Philly kids in the crossfires of the drug wars and the gun violence. The Chi-Town kid on gang turf killed his payback for his daddy drama. Police don't feel safe, we can feel the fear every time they get behind us. The youth don't fear nothing, everywhere you look it's very clear they need a father. Success is a fantasy life, we rarely seen around. The sanctity of marriage is something we need to honor. Pray more dads out here start back wanting to be a father. Let's take it back to family values, villages raising kids and pride in the neighborhood we live in. Let's work to see more two-parent homes, building wealthy support systems for our future generations to win. Let's go. We were muted. But what's up, family? We know it's super late. We just decided to get on real quick and see who is up. We tend to hang out and breeze through a lot of YouTube content at these hours, and decided, instead of just watching and scrolling through Instagram comments ourselves, let's start doing some reactions every now and then, and sharing our thoughts and ideas on a lot of the things that's going on. So if you don't know, our Instagram has been blowing up pretty well. At Family Values TV is taking off. Matter of fact, let me share this on Instagram.
Yeah.
Let me drive some traffic in here.
Yeah, we just, welcome in, hit that like button, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Tonight, we're just going to do a few reactions of some wild comments that we receive from preaching and teaching the things that we teach. Of course, yes, our message pisses women, for the most part, off.
And surprisingly, lately it's been men. I mean, it ain't really a new thing. There's always been the rare man occasional that gets upset, but some of them I question the validity of if they don't just have an ulterior motive. Like that guy today, I'm pretty sure he's gay.
Yeah.
It just doesn't even make sense, some of the things that we end up having to deal with in these spaces.
Yeah.
But
upset that we're homeschooling our children. Like, what? Why does this matter to
why
you?
does that bother you, bro? But you'll have people just so stuck in their worldview and the way that they were taught normal to be, that they just have to attack you because it makes them feel insignificant.
Yeah.
But the heart of our message is always marriage. At the heart of any healthy society is healthy family. That at the heart of any healthy family is a healthy marriage. So if you are familiar with my wife's content on Instagram, she's always posting things to women to help you understand how to be better biblical minded wives, and ways to strengthen your marriage. Things that I would think should be well received. I understand that there will be some pushback from those who just don't get it. But some of these comments are just absolutely ridiculous. Here is just a pretty simple video, honestly, of a preacher. She didn't even you didn't even give your thoughts on this. Matter of fact, now that I think about it.
Well, in the caption, I did.
Okay, but you're just sharing what this brother said, speaking to ladies about how to strengthen your husband.
Yeah.
Let's take a listen to it really fast, just for context.
Don't use your voice to be a knife. Be a wife.
And what he said was so empowering. It wasn't like he was saying, keep your mouth shut, be quiet, and stay in your place. Like I could see that triggering a woman. But it was empowering women, letting them know how powerful their voice is. And let's use that power to be a wife, not a knife. Don't tear your man down, lift him up. Because, like he said, there's nothing my head has done or provided that his body doesn't get to enjoy. In other words, we get to enjoy the fruits of that labor. When you uplift and encourage your man, you get to enjoy the best man that you could have because of what he produces out of that encouragement.
Now, how did this young lady, I'm going to put her on blast, Pat the Cat, how did she fix her lips to say, I'm sorry, but you're promoting domestic violence?
It's wild. It makes absolutely no sense for you to hear this and think, first of all, it clearly shows that you're not this type of woman, because this type of woman, they don't get abused. They get treated like princesses. They get treated like the queens you claim you are. They don't get mistreated because they're precious. They're like diamonds, they're jewels. There's nothing like a woman that can uplift and take care of a man with her words.
All you hear in the comments is, what if he's an asshole? Why should a woman do that unless she's treated like a queen? So they put themselves as the head. What comes first is her treatment. And then she might give the man something reciprocal.
And you know that,
and then beyond. Queen and then beyond. That has the correct perspective of a woman. Go ahead.
And then the women who speak like this, when a man does give her what she wants, it will never be enough. She will always complain and want more.
Yep. You cannot talk to your husband like a king if he's not treating you like a queen. That's the cop out all throughout of here.
Yeah.
And honestly, when, like you said, a woman who speaks like that will never see herself as treated like a queen, no matter what that man does.
Yeah. He can worship the ground she walks on, and it will still not be enough. He will still be less of a man. She will still belittle him. Women like that just aren't and will never be truly satisfied until they've destroyed a man, because they like to be victims. They like to be the one that's suffering and dealing with this insufferable man. They want to be able to talk about you and gossip.
Young lady says, no, this is nonsense. This nonsense is the problem, where men have zero accountability for their behavior. How does she gather that from that video? Because you don't get to be a knife and tear him down. That's him not having accountability for his behavior. Because you think it ought to be your duty to chastise your man.
That's exactly what they feel like. And then it's funny because these same women will say, I'm not your mom. Why I gotta cook for you and do your laundry? But you are, in a sense, in the authoritative way where you want to correct him like you're his
Go
mom.
there. Go there.
It's a bunch of hypocrisy. Women think they should have the world without giving anything.
Yeah.
But I did have a few comments on there that where women were struggling with this, and they genuinely wanted to know, well, okay, I've been fighting back. What do I do? How do I treat my husband like a king when he is being an a-hole, when he is being mean to me, when he's not being a good man? And those are the comments that I appreciate, because, okay, you're here to learn. You understand that this is hard. No one said it's easy.
Of course.
But you're willing to listen to some tips on how you could do that.
We can always appreciate that level of humility.
Yeah.
And that's what ultimately this channel is for, is those women. So although we're highlighting, you know, the garbage every now and then just to show how ridiculous it is, it's not our responsibility, duty, or desire to set out to try to change those type of people.
Mm-hmm. They don't want, those type of people don't come to learn. They come to scrutinize and try to shut you up because
Yeah.
they don't want men to think that women are capable of this.
That's good. Moving on. Same routine. We'll play this clip through first, give you the context. Why this is such a hard concept to grasp is beyond me. When you look at the original video, the brother was very kind. Excuse me.
Bless you.
He wasn't rude to the woman at all. He just kindly stated his preference.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that so heavily ridiculed anytime a man just kindly says, me personally, I don't want a single mother, as if that's not his right to say so?
It is, like I said, women have their preferences. You got to be 6 foot tall and make a certain amount of money, and there's no problem. But men are not allowed to have preferences because it's shame on them. They're shallow, all the name calling and shame tactics. And it's because women don't want to be held to any type of standard.
Correct. And you see that in the comments. I can't even begin to state what her name says, but how you answering questions about men you don't know? So when your man leaves you and makes you a single mother, then what? Because your male ideology is stupid. When you're a woman at the end of the day and we ain't do ish but make the babies the men ask for, you definitely just lost me as a follower. Oh,
my heart.
Poor us. But the irony in all of this. First of all, how is this even male ideology? So what are you supposed to say? You're supposed to stick to the sisterhood and say that he's wrong, no matter what, even when he's right.
Yes, that's all it is. Women have literally, especially Black women, you're not Black because Black women don't talk like you. We stick together. Yeah. So in other words, we lie for each other, even if it's in the detriment of our community and our children and even the women themselves. We protect feelings over everything.
Yep. And one thing I say that's really telling is that what's really shocked me the most in Instagram is how many people wish the failure of our family because of your ideals.
Every time.
Because you are taken care of, because you believe in biblical marriage and submitting to a man, they hope and pray for the day that you are left to become a desolate single mom so you can join them in misery.
Yeah. And the sad part is, and I don't always bring it there because it I don't know. I feel like some people just want to bring you down.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I've been in your shoes. I'm speaking on experience. I'm telling you, the decision we made to be a single mom was not good for us, nor was it good for our children. And because of those decisions, there will be consequences. You will have to move accordingly. You can't think life is about, oh, I get to make any kind of decision and I'm not going to have to deal with the repercussions of it. That's not how life is. And that's how women in today think life is, especially single moms. They don't think there's anything wrong with having another man's child and expecting another man to step in and give you everything, and you expect them to give you everything and love your kids like their own and all the things.
Yeah. While you have I'm the prize attitude.
My kids come first. And you literally, it's kids, her, and
then
him.
Come on. Mom to 7, Jill of Trades. Nope, definitely don't agree with this one. Well, mom to 7, of course you don't. A single mom of 7. Why would you like this?
But you know what? You would think because it's so extreme on her and she should know. And I think that's why she's so triggered, because her life is a reflection of what I said. Men are steering clear of her.
Yeah.
And she's mad, and that's why they shame men for it.
And that's what she's doing. Men come with all kinds of baggage. The premise of a single mother is actually taking care of her responsibilities, where the man just checked out. Why do we keep saying that? The man just checked out. What?
10 likes.
Wow. And then when you really get into these women's story, it's never the man just checked out. I don't know too many stories like that, where you two came together with the plan to raise a family together, and a man just said, "Oh, I'm done," packed his bags and checked out. You're lying.
Yeah.
70% of the time, it's likely that the kids were out of wedlock and you were never a family to begin with.
Or he didn't want them in the first place.
He never wanted to be a father. He just wanted to hit. And then if it was a family, 70 to 80% of the time, you're the one that walked away. And they have all the excuses for that as well. But the man just checked out. That is such a tired narrative.
Extremely tired. I guess you're not going to go in the responses.
It wasn't there.
You got to click view replies. Okay. So my response to her when I finally seen it, if she was never married, she absolutely did choose to be a single mother. Have some accountability. You decide who you open your legs to. And that was the worst thing that I could have said to her. See, and there you go. Again, with the judgment. Maybe she was raped and kept the baby. Maybe she was young and wasn't married yet. Or maybe her marriage didn't work out. Who knows and who cares? But it's not for you or anyone else to judge.
Where did you judge by stating a fact?
That is the issue. No one wants to hear the truth. And then she brings up rape.
Man, you're a mother of 7. Let's talk about you. Were you raped 7 times?
Good grief. A lot of times they bring up these extremes that don't even apply to them.
Exactly. Just dancing around the issue.
You're speaking of extremes that rarely happen. Of course, a rape victim is not at fault at being a single mother. But a woman who is young and had a child or children is in fact her choice for having sex before marriage. 70% of divorces are filed by women. Another choice. But if she was abandoned as a married woman or widowed, again, not her fault. But everything in between those extremes are the majority of single mothers. It's not judgment, it's called accountability. You control who you decide to sleep with.
Common sense. This person was triggered by that. So essentially, you're advocating for women to abort. I'm a single parent and my husband is deceased. Now, does that give anyone the authority to judge? Ma'am, this is how I personally think she's lying. What is there to judge about your husband being deceased? This is when I start to call bull on people.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense in any fallacy.
Widows don't even see this and feel like I'm talking to them because they know.
What could you have done different if your husband died? It's funny the society live in. No accountability for men when it comes to recreating a child. That's how you know she's lying.
Yeah.
What accountability does a man need if your husband died?
She's
You're lying. You might have got a husband, but he ain't the father of them kids.
Oh my God. It's almost as if birth control never fails. And this is the mindset women have. The only way to prevent having children is abortion and birth control.
Exactly.
So you can't control having sex. You can't choose to say, no, unless you're going to marry me, I'm not giving you my womb. And that's the mind-blowing thing when I have these conversations and they bring up abortion and birth control fail. What is foolproof? Abstinence. But that's not even a thought. That's strange. That's weird. That's not sensible for any woman to do.
Yeah. And here comes all the emotional narcissistic behavior. So back to the mom of 7. Wow, you're so judgmental. And I just started following. Judgment is the Lord's, not yours. Hope you open your mind some more to love all fellow humans. For now, I'm out. I don't need your negativity, quote unquote, Christian family fake values.
And then blocks me.
It doesn't even make sense. What is that response to?
Right?
You didn't judge anything. You never said anything negative about her.
Nope. I just dispelled that, of course, rape victims, it wasn't their choice. I expelled that, yes, of course, widows is not their choice. Women, which is very few, that are abandoned by their husband, is not their choice.
It's really not
everybody else's, it was a choice. She falls in the majority. That's why she's so upset.
Yeah. And we'll see that at least one occasion of it on every single post.
Mm-hmm.
But this one.
Oh yeah. Before you move on, the Monique woman.
Where's that at? Towards the top?
Yeah. You was just on it, and then it moved it. We had already.
It was in that comment section.
Yes. Same comment section. But I was just gonna say that she continued. That was the first comment that we spoke about. Where how dare you speak on this man? You don't know what he's thinking.
Yeah.
Her.
Okay.
So if you read in the comments, because she said you gotta unfollow, I just laughed and said bye. And then she continues on and then says that her daughters are better than mine. My daughters are better than yours. They're learning to be independent and have a job.
They're going to be just like you.
Like, girl.
Enjoy.
It's just wild because at this point, when people go there to like low blows, to start talking about your children, to start saying mine are better than yours, that's nothing but insecurity talking.
Yeah.
That is projection because you know that my children are better off than yours.
Exactly.
And you hate it.
I mean, it's not even worth the argument. That's why she blocked you. Yeah. She knows there's no way to argue her raising them kids by herself under the same values that turned her into who she is going to make them turn out better than yours. There's no way to sell that.
It's just it's immaturity on the highest level.
Yeah, while we wait for that to load, let's go here. Feminism topic. It don't matter if you do it as comedy. It don't matter if you do it in all seriousness. It does not matter. You're always going to get some pushback when it comes to this discussion. She's being funny, but she's cooking. Because that's literally what happens. It's literally what happens. They hate him. Women's choice ends at being a housewife.
Yep.
You're the bottom of the barrel in the sisterhood. Oh, the irony.
Right. All the complaining.
Yeah, got it all, including a lot of complaints. Make it make sense. But Monique Smith goes on to say, can you imagine what the world would look like if all moms gave up working? You and your babies would probably be dead because the majority of, get ready, medical staff are women. Forget getting those nails, toes, lashes, and hair done. Women's domain. Enjoy having random men spread your ass cheeks for your next wax. You're pathetic. You choose to stay home with your kids, great. But don't shame the working mothers who choose to show our little girls that we can do more than stay home and lay on our backs to please the men. So they'll throw us a bone. Boy, she should audition for Color Purple.
Yeah, right.
God, she was the original Celie. She had it. And the irony in all of this, she just did all of that. And not a person in this household uses a single one of those services that she just mentioned.
Hilarious.
They are of complete zero relevance to our family. When I say not a one, not one. The closest to medical staff that's been relevant to us is a midwife. And in the title alone, of course, that's women. And it's usually women that's done already raised their kids and they're spending the second half of their lives giving birth to other people's kids, like older women are supposed to do.
Oh man, it's hilarious. And then when I explained that to her, she couldn't even really give anything in response. She went somewhere else, of course, moved the goalposts.
Yeah. She said, you said, of course you have to work. You don't have the option to stay home. You flexing about it. You're a single mom. You have to work. It's not a choice that you're making.
Right.
This is the job of a wife. And it's historically funny that you mentioned lashes, salons, etc. When I do my own hair and nails, my lashes are natural, and wax, no, a random woman wouldn't be spreading my cheeks either, but she's helping me give birth. See, that's the stuff that you got to do, sweetheart, to please those Tinder dates that you're getting day to day. You still got to be impressive to somebody because you don't have consistent companionship that you would have in a marriage. I also give birth to my children at home. And yes, there are certain jobs women only should have. And that's usually the women with grown children who, or they work out of their home. Like the last midwife I had literally practice out of her home. You're extremely naive and indoctrinated. Now get to work, my dear, while I enjoy my babies and tend to my husband who provides for me. My life is funded and you sound jealous, honestly, over their aging, bitter, and miserable. Now, you know she didn't like that. She responded to me, are you really dry ass assuming my child doesn't have a father around? Ha ha ha. Anyway, you know they don't.
Right.
And you don't utilize healthcare. Your children don't see a doctor. You didn't give birth in a hospital setting. Okay, caveman. I didn't even see that because I would have embarrassed her dumbass because no, they did not. No, no, and no.
No.
You sound mentally unstable, but do you stay on those knees? Wow, what an insult.
Ooh.
What an insult.
While she's on her knees for random dudes on Tinder.
And for her paycheck every day to make somebody else rich.
Oh my God. It's sad because these women, they end up exposing themselves and how indoctrinated, how their life is revolved around getting waxes and eyelashes and all these things. You are an exact example of what public school indoctrination and the government wanted from you. You are paying them. They're getting everything they want out of you. Single moms bring in so much money for the government and for the economy. They just pour with their taxes because they're paying for things that don't matter. Yep. And think that they're balling when they check gone as soon as they get it.
Yeah. And Drea Latina. My mom's a stay-at-home mom and it was awesome. But that was a time when you could live off one income. With today's inflation, you can barely survive. If I had a choice to not work and still be able to do all the things I love, all the things I love, I would do it in a heartbeat. You got to listen when they talk.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even catch that last part.
You got to listen when they talk. Because everybody's selling this woe is me, it can't be done narrative. If we were just honest and people just like, I've had a couple brothers say, yeah, personally, I just don't want to live like that. Cool. I respect that. Then go get it. Do what you want for what your goals are. Mm-hmm. But don't tell me what can't be done.
Right.
To try to virtue signal because you feel guilty about not making the sacrifices for your kids. Or because other people who are making the sacrifice make you feel like, I could be doing better. Just be honest. Mm-hmm. But I'm tired of this. It can't be done stuff. Stop it.
Or you're just lucky. Or you're just rich.
No.
You're just privileged.
No. In all honesty, she's sacrificial and devoted to her mission. That's what it is. Because most of these women out here that's calling her lucky wouldn't make the sacrifices that she's made for our family. They wouldn't be willing to do it. But this is the motivation that's in her that's deeper than herself. When marriage is just about yourself, when life is just about yourself, that's the wrong motivation.
Yep.
Drea, you responded to it. You do have a choice. It's all about sacrifice. Move to middle America somewhere. There's a bunch of nice, cheaper places in the U.S. Excuse me. Get rid of car payments. Thrift for clothes and furniture. I promise you can do it. You would just have to give up material things. Hell no. You're asking too much from a Black woman now. Give up material things? Mm-hmm. That's our culture. That's who we are.
Yep.
We get joked if we wear a Nike shirt and some Adidas pants.
Yep. And that's what it comes down to for a lot of women. They are trying to impress their girlfriends. They're trying to impress society. Like she said, her feminist friends go around and point at the housewives and laugh at them. That is why a lot of women refuse to be a housewife, because they know they won't get praised for it
by women.
Yeah.
Easier said than done. First, I have a minimalistic lifestyle. Lies. And we are debt free. It doesn't help living in Florida. That is now crazy expensive. That's a choice. But we were lucky to get our home right before the housing prices went sky high. That's excellent. I have a support system here in Florida, so I could never pick up and move in the middle of nowhere. We also got rid of cable and other items. This country today is not made for one household income, and it is a shame. At least I work remotely from home. Then why can't you move?
Because she doesn't want to leave her family.
But it still bothers me when my daughter sees me working after hours at time. Listen, I get it. And it sounds like she's trying to whatever degree she's willing. But don't say what can't be done.
Yeah.
There's a lot more degrees that she could be doing. If you working from home, there is no limitations from where you should be able to live. But you're talking about a support system. When are we as married people going to really become one? Stop looking at outside sources. Stop looking to the people that we grew up with to complete our lives.
And honestly, her support system is probably the reason why she won't give up her job. They're probably the ones that are, that would scrutinize her for not working.
I mean, she works from home.
And that's what I said about it, because I didn't realize that. And then by the end of the conversation, I was like, at the end of the day, you're doing if you have to work, that is the best option to do it from home.
Yeah. Once again, it's about sacrifice. If you really wanted to, you could. My husband and I did. We have 8 children with 0 support, but guess what? You don't need that when you're a stay-at-home mom. You simply aren't willing to give up certain things. So please stop blaming the money and economy. You can very well do it. It's about what's important to you, what you're willing to give up. It's very possible. I say this from experience, but at least you work from home. God bless. It just bothers me when people claim they can't live off one income. Yes, you can. You choose not to. It's a choice. And listen, it's a valid choice. It's a valid choice. I understand, especially when everyone else around the world is living to a certain standard you feel like you're missing out on. I am not saying it is easy to live the way we live or that we should be the blueprint or the standard. I am just saying stop deceiving people into thinking it can't be done just because you aren't willing to do what needs to be done to accomplish it.
Yeah.
Because you're diminishing the people who are.
Yeah.
And you're diminishing the movement, because it's very important that people understand why this is important. This is not, I understand like the whole trad wife thing is becoming like a movement, but this is not a hashtag. This lifestyle is about the next generation.
Yes. It's about protecting our children.
So when we're telling people what can't be done and we're constantly echoing that nonsense because we aren't willing to, you're only discouraging the people out here who really want to and wish they could. And they're afraid to make the sacrifices because of things like that. So when the people out here who are like, hey, what we do ain't pretty, but it's being done. And then you come in with this in response, stop that.
Yeah. And then they're like, why do you have to say that? Why can't we just encourage more? Well, we can continue.
Okay.
8 children, God bless you. But you should still tell moms out there that have to work or choose to work, but still put God and family above all else, and raising little girls to be feminine young ladies. They're doing a good job. Because we need it. Mamas, no matter your status, stay-at-home mom or working mom, you're doing great.
First of all, I about want to delete that nonsense because we're not playing that over here. Every mom ain't doing great, first of all. So cut the noise. Stay at home or working, you're doing great. No, do that mess on your page for your 18 followers. Don't do that over here. We're here to tell the truth that's going to change our culture.
Yeah.
Second of all, the entire society is praising working moms. You can go anywhere else and get that undeserving praise. Whether you're doing a good job at it or not, you get that message everywhere, every Mother's Day, every feminist, women's right subgroup. You can find it anywhere you need it.
Yeah.
Here we talk about sacrifices for the next generation and how to better society. We're not doing that.
Yeah. No, I don't encourage anything that I think is harmful to family, marriage, and children. It's one thing if you have no choice, but for the women who have a supportive husband who is willing to take on the provider role, but they choose to work anyway, should know that their decision is worldly and selfish. Children need their mothers at home, especially considering what we see today and how even the schools are sexualizing and grooming our children. I speak on what's best for family, and I address the lies we tell ourselves to feel better about our decisions, like you can't survive without two incomes. That's not true. It's simply a choice. I hope nothing but the best for your family, and I will, where am I?
And I'm not here to judge.
And I'm not here to judge you. I'm simply telling you the truth that most women don't hear anymore because society coddles women instead of holding them accountable. We want to make women feel good instead of telling them the truth so they can consider what is actually good for them and their families. Discomfort is good. That's how you grow and change for the better. Embrace the hard truths and move accordingly after. Rather, it's okay. This is my rather it's I'm okay with that. The fact that I'm making this decision despite what I think is what is best for my family. Or maybe you don't think that's best for your family, and that's your right. That's your family. But I'm not going to change my message to coddle women who are getting coddled by society for their bad decisions every single day. That's not how we're going to get change. That's not how we're going to see a better future.
Amen. She went on to say, and I wish you the best as well. You're doing great. Just to let you know, there are a lot of moms out there like myself, married Christian, keeping their children away from the craziness of the world, instilling great values as well. We're not miserable by any means. Hey, my mom was a stay-home mom, but she did have to work from time to time when things got hard. But I did appreciate her being able to pick me up from school daily. Hey, I'm just happy that I don't have to go into an office anymore, that I could do the same working remotely. I'm always open to one-on-one discussion. And you finished it. I think if work is an option, working remotely is the best option.
If work is a must.
If work is a must. Yep. And that's it. That's just simple as that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people just get in their feelings and misunderstand the heart behind our message and what it is that we're trying to do. And they get caught up in emotions. Palestine, what's up, brother? And they just don't really get our motivation is to impact change in the community.
Mm-hmm.
We've been going the wrong way for so long that they just can't fathom there could be another. And people don't want to look at the reality that things aren't working. So maybe what's normal is not what we should be following.
Yeah. And I think a lot of times because women aren't used to accountability, they're not used to being put in front of a mirror, that when they come to my page and I speak the hard truths to women, they feel attacked. They feel that conviction because there is a guilt for women who really do love their family and want the best for them. They feel that conviction because they know they could be doing something different, but they choose not to. And that's why they come to say, why don't you be nicer? Why don't you say the message in a different way? Yeah. Why don't you encourage people like me? And it's like, wow, I do love you. Love tells the truth. Love does not say that everything you're doing is great when it's not.
Absolutely. And that's a great place to close, man.
Yeah.
Till next time, we appreciate y'all. Catch us back here tomorrow afternoon at roughly 6 p.m. EDT for Talk Solutions. We're going to have a fun topic for you guys to get into, man. So make sure you are here. Palestine said reprogram is tough on people. That is why they get triggered. Absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
We see it all throughout the world we living in, especially now where everybody is just ruled by their emotions. It's tragic. But anyway, man, hope we catch y'all tomorrow. It's been a pleasure. Check the replay out if you did not get to see us from the beginning. And we're going to try to come before y'all more often now.
All right. See you
And
tomorrow.
if you don't follow us on Instagram at Family Values TV, address go 757, where it goes down in style, and is where most of the content that we shared with you today is found. All right. Without further ado,
Night.
enjoy the rest of your night.
Bring me along, yeah. We lost so many chosen. We need the place, they come thought provoking.